Boys, another podcast. Welcome back. Chris, Burke, Kyle. How you guys doing today?
We're here.
Good.
Yeah, we're chilling. Good. We got a big guest on, Isaak Presley. We have some things to talk about. Anything going on internally in the team that we need to discuss?
What?
Yeah, Chris said he was going to roast us today, but I'm waiting for that.
This morning,
yeah.
I woke up at 8:34, and someone forgot to flush the toilet.
Who?
So
Wait, someone left a what?
Who took the first shower?
Probably Kai.
That's Kai.
That was okay,
Kyle,
but
that was you.
I didn't use the bathroom though.
Really?
I did not.
Like,
I did not.
Like who the? No.
Was it a shit or a piss?
It was a shit. Of
I did not
course.
shit. I did not shit this morning. Actually, I did not. So that was not me.
So who the fuck was it?
Definitely wasn't me. I don't
You're
wake
the
up
first person that wakes up every goddamn morning.
I don't know, but I wouldn't do
Just
that.
admit it,
I wouldn't
bro.
do that.
Just
I
admit
wouldn't
it.
do that. It just, it's not my character. It's not how I was raised. I wasn't
It was
raised in a
Kyle.
house where you.
All I know is that there's been some shit that's been happening in this house recently that everybody's just like, it gets brought up and then everyone's like just quiet about it. There's some shit that's been going
There's
on.
little mice in the rooms.
There's some
What?
little mice just fucking running around leaving
yeah,
crumbs. And
I'm
shit.
waiting for Chris because Chris said you were gonna bully us today.
Okay, I said something, but I forgot. So I thought we were doing it like yesterday or the day before.
Yeah,
I
so
forgot, but
you
you
got nothing to
guys
say?
need to remind me.
We would have filmed a podcast last night, but Chris was in a bad mood.
That is true.
Chris is like, I don't want to film a podcast. I'm in such a bad mood.
I did not say that. I said, let's film a podcast now. Everybody was dawdling around for like an hour. I said, okay, let's do it some other time.
Yeah, because you've never dawdled around in your life. You're expert.
So what is this about? What is this about?
It's more just
It's
fucking.
just because the preface of this podcast was that you said you're gonna roast us, and I'm just
Okay, well, he just said that there's something that needs to be brought up. I'm waiting for him to bring it up.
Oh, I don't know who the like perpetrators are of these horrible crimes. I'm just saying it's been happening around here.
Well, he made mac and cheese and didn't wash his dishes either.
I watched it when
Chris,
I got
this
confronted
fucking
about
cap and ass piece of shit.
No.
He's like, oh,
he did clean it later. Okay, he
really?
did clean it.
That's
yeah.
why there's still mac and cheese bowls in the fucking
it. I think we just made another batch, but yes.
another batch
Yeah.
cooking up.
Before we get started, I want to say we have a big announcement to make. We are working with a brand new partner. So our content, a lot of the times we get demonetized. It is made possible by these amazing brand partners who work with us, help us make the content you guys enjoy. Manscaped, baby, let's go!
And while helping us like with when we get demonetized and all that, they also keep our balls clean.
They keep your balls clean. Hey, Berkeley, do you like how's your experience been with Manscaped?
It's been great. Like,
Yeah.
it's been good. I get around like the little edges and stuff.
Yeah.
The little clearage.
The little
Yeah.
nooks and crannies,
Yeah.
right?
Nooks and
exactly.
crannies. In case you guys don't know, Manscaped is an amazing brand that works on below the belt grooming for men. That comes with all these different razors and different innovations on how to make shaving easier. And the biggest thing is shaving your balls. A hairy sack is not the way you want to go, especially when you're entering the high school, college era. That is not the time to have a hairy sack. And I think you can double that and actually back me up here, right?
Yeah. So I mean, the way I see it is like no girl ever has said that she wants a hairy sack. So like, why would you have one?
I don't know.
It just doesn't make any
Doesn't
sense.
make-
And they have two other products called the Crop Preserver and the Crop Reviver, which just keep your balls smelling clean and looking nice.
There's
This
a
is-
light on it.
If you're a dude and you're like listening to this, listening to us talk about this right now, and you're thinking, "Oh, this is not for me." If you like are trying to talk to girls, hang out with girls, this is what you need. Like, would you agree?
Yeah,
you need
it.
this.
Yeah.
You do. I mean, like, what's crazy, before I found out about Manscaped, I actually nicked my balls. I nicked my balls.
What was the
I was
story?
like, I need a new razor.
Wait, how'd you nick your balls?
Okay, so
Did
obviously,
you use like a regular razor?
mine. No, I
The
was
one
using
for
mine
his
from
face
home.
and his balls. You were using one razor. Okay, yeah.
No. I don't. Here's what it is. Because I have two clips. Because you can take it off. One for your face, one for your balls. But what? It's an attachment.
No, I get what you mean. You use like a plastic like one, right?
No, there's an attachment. You can like pop off the top.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So there's different motors. So I used the nuts shaving motor, and there's no flashlight. Yeah. So I ran over a wrinkle. I was like, oh. I was like,
But with the lawnmower, they have a brand new patented ceramic blade, and you cannot nick your
It's
balls.
so
it is
insane.
impossible.
You just lift them, shave them, and they're gone.
You know
They're
the best
clean.
thing about it?
What?
You know how like guys like always like put their hands down their pants, just right?
Just to stay warm in
Yeah.
the colder climates.
Those shits are soft as
They are.
Oh,
They
yeah.
are.
They're soft.
It's true. I'm not kidding. Like, if you guys have,
Like action figures, just play with your balls. Use Manscaped 3.0.
smooth as hell.
I'm not even like. The reason I'm so excited to talk about this is because of how well it works. It's pretty incredible. The razor does not cut you. It keeps you shaved. Nothing else can do this. And if you're hanging out, like literally have any aspirations to hang out with a chick, you need this. Do not show up with a hairy fucking sack.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right, guys, go check it out. You can use the code TheSync to get 20% off right now on Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com, 20% off with the code TheSync. All right, guys. You guys ready to go? Let's
do it.
Let's do it. All right, guys. Today we have a big guest. Oh, yes, sorry?
With clean nuts.
With clean nuts. That's the big point.
Your balls will thank us later.
Your balls will thank you later. We have a big guest on today. It's Isaak Presley. The big thing about him is I'm sure he does keep his nuts clean. I'm excited to have him on the show. And that's what he told us before the show. You guys ready to go?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, Isaak Presley, welcome to the show. The Sync. Start the music. Let's go. Let's go.
What's up, Trailer Gang?
What's up, Trailer Gang?
What's up, Trailer Gang?
Trailer Gang, welcome back to another podcast. Isaac,
Perfect.
welcome
Ready?
to the show, bro.
Hey, turn my headphones down a little bit.
If you want to actually turn them down,
No,
use the
fucking
fucking
with
shit.
you.
But I know you're fucking with us. All right, welcome back to the show. The first question I want to ask you, which is, I just want to get this out of the way because I was.
Yes, my balls are shaved.
How shaved are they?
Not as well as Manscaped would keep them shaved, but
Yeah.
they are shaved.
They are shaved.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Because do you think it's detrimental to have a really
Dude,
hairy
I
sack?
won't even lie to you. The last like prior to last night, I've had a hairy sack for like a week.
You
okay,
gotta get on the way.
I have like not had as much confidence
Yeah.
having a hairy sack. Like taking a shower, hopping out the shower, and like staring in the mirror, and then all of a sudden seeing that fucking Bigfoot between my fucking hips.
And like now
Now
you can
I'm
just
confident.
use the now you can
Yeah.
use the
Now I
promo
just-
code TheSync, and then
Yeah.
you're good. You're
Use
good to
your
go.
promo
Real quick,
code
what do you think of
TheSync.
this? So they have two creams here too. They're great. This is a ball deodorant you put on, and this one's a ball. The other one is a ball toner. You put it on, it smells super good. Like a smelly sack is bad.
Dude, my ex used toner, and that always worked great for her.
It works great.
That for my balls will work amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. Same thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I contour my sack?
On a completely unrelated note to thanking our great sponsor, Isaac. It's great to see you again, man. We haven't seen you in a few weeks.
Yeah.
What have you been up to?
Dude, I've just been dealing with some stuff. Just got a new apartment. Been moving in. Been feeling like an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I feel like before being at Clubhouse, like I feel like that wasn't real adulting. It was kind of like that middle point when you're going into college and like you're in a frat.
Yeah.
You know, and now it's like I'm out in the world and I'm having to like worry about taxes and apartments, and it's weird. I love it.
When we went down here the first time, went to like Hype House, we're like all these content houses are frats. They're basically frats. You just party,
Essentially,
have
yeah.
fun, live with a ton of people,
Yeah.
and try to make sure that shit gets cleaned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then everyone just argues about who's gonna clean shit. Yeah. No one wants to do it.
I'm glad everyone else has the same.
So what was that? So you were at Clubhouse for the boys? right?
Yeah, so I started with Clubhouse BH.
you
Then I was at Clubhouse FTB, and now I'm out on my own and on my lonesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a question to ask you. I want to get this out of the way because I'm so curious. I was looking up a little bit. What is Gymkhana? How do you have 20 medals in Gymkhana? I want to get back to Clubhouse, but
Okay, so growing up, I did a lot of like very unorthodox sports. I grew up with like my grandfather was a professional baseball player, so I played baseball in like the standard sports. But like I did martial arts as a kid, loved martial arts, and then I did professional horseback riding.
Oh damn.
Like equestrian?
Yeah, equestrian. So there's a sport in horseback riding, and it's called Gymkhana, and it's like barrel racing. So it's essentially like obstacle courses, trying to get through them as quick as possible with your horse. But Gymkhana, the only difference between barrel racing and Gymkhana is Gymkhana also involves poles. So
jumping.
So jumping, going in between poles, around poles, and then barrels are also involved.
Damn.
When's the last time you saddled up?
I saddle up. I still ride. I stopped competing. I faced too many injuries. I had internal bleeding, broken
'Cause-
ribs.
Do you get thrown off the horse? Is that what it is?
Dude. I mean, there's a rule that you're not a real equestrian until you've fallen off 10 times, and I've probably fallen off 10 times by the time I was 4 years old. So,
Jeez.
Is the
just
worry
scary.
getting trampled or is it just falling?
dude, I don't know. My dad's big thing with horseback riding was to instill me not to fear.
Yeah.
Because horses are such a scary animal, you know? Like, they really can kill you at any time, even if they're not intending to.
Yeah.
But that ideology of when you fall back down, fall down and get right back up on that horse, it kind of anytime you face a problem in life, you can either let it beat you down and keep you there, or you can get back up and keep fucking going.
Yeah.
And that's how it worked with horseback riding. You fall, eat shit, end up in the hospital, and either you can say, I'm never going to do this again, or you man the fuck up and you get back on that horse.
Did you do that competitively?
Yeah, I competed.
What does that look like? Is that like leagues or is that?
Yeah, so in Gymkhana, it's divisions. So the best division you can be in is a Division 1. That's
Yeah.
where like adults sit. But I was actually the youngest kid in Southern California to make the division I was in. I reached all the way up to Division 4.
Fuck.
And I was a young kid. I was about 8 years old.
That's crazy.
I was competing amongst adults.
Bro,
as
you've
a
done
kid.
a lot.
Dude, you've done like we're gonna
You're
go
only
over a
18.
history,
You've
bro. You've been
done
in
a
Disney shows. You've been in the
lot of shit.
a lot.
Yeah.
So how do you go from competing competitively in like horse obstacle races to like I've watched videos of your old vlogs. Like your dad is the funniest dude there is. Like it's funny as fuck. He knows what content is.
Yeah.
How do you go from doing Gymkhana to being on Disney Channel to going all the, like what is that? How were you made?
Yeah, I mean, I think like I was telling you guys this a little bit before. My dad kind of knew that this would be a route. My dad has done this his whole life, and
Entertainment.
yeah, the entertainment business. And to him, everything that I would do as a kid would play a part into this career. So even though I didn't seriously start getting in the business until I was about 7.5, 8. Gymkhana, my dad's idea was, my dad loves horses, don't get me wrong, but it was also, if he ever books an equestrian movie, Western movie, he knows how to ride horses. If he ever books a superhero movie, martial arts, he knows how to fight. You know, always give that one up ahead, you know, because in the business, it comes down to dimes and nickels. It's that sort of a difference of why this kid gets a role over why this kid doesn't. And if you're in a superhero role, Tom Holland, Spider-Man, perfect example. He has a gymnastics background. And when he was auditioning for Spider-Man, I'm sure there was a lot of big actors coming in, but could they maybe do a backflip? Could they do tumbling? Can they do shit like that? No, he could. So with everything I did growing up as a kid, it all played into what I would do as I got older and was in the business.
So I played Little League, and most of us did, but my dad worked really hard when he was in high school, and his dream was to become a professional baseball player. And he instilled that into me. I was really good purely because he forced me to, not because I enjoyed it.
No, you weren't that good.
I was pretty good when I was 12.
You were shit.
When I was 12, that was when I was the best at my point, and that's purely because I was being pushed.
Right.
Did you feel that? Because I grew. I'm just being honest. I grew resentment over time, but it was all good. Have you felt any of that?
I think that there's always phases. You know, no 9-year-old kid knows what he wants to do for the rest of his life. You know what I mean? Ask any 9-year-old what they want to be, and they'll probably say a superhero. You know what I mean? Or they'll want to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Well, then will that kid want to grow up and actually become a doctor? That's a whole different story.
Yeah.
For my dad, I think it was kind of like he didn't really give a shit. You know, because like what does an 8-year-old know? So yeah, when I was younger, none of it made sense to me. I didn't know why I wasn't in public school. Why wasn't I around normal kids? Why was this my life? And yeah, it created conflicts. But do I sit here today regretting it? No.
Yeah.
I have an amazing platform. I have a great supporting crew of fans and friends and entertainment business and people and talents that I seem to have an array of. And growing up as a kid, you don't appreciate that until you get older and you see that there's other kids that their parents just kind of let them do whatever they wanted, and now these kids are 19, 20, lost, not knowing what they want to do in this world.
Yeah, I mean, we grew up obviously, like we talked about this last podcast, but it's because we had Sophie Dawson on, who was on some Disney shows as well.
Yeah.
How did that begin for you? Because when you talk about now, you sit back and look, this was great. I'm so glad I went through this. Everyone grew up wanting to be on the TV shows, on the shows. How did that all begin, and what were you thinking during that?
For me, I always feel like I let people down because I feel like for every kid growing up, Disney Channel especially, like Disney and Nick, because those are shows they grow up watching. That's like if every kid wants to be an actor, they want to be on those shows. For me, like growing up, dude, when I was a kid, all I watched was Bruce Lee movies and Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective is the funniest shit in the world.
I bet, and then I would watch like
movie.
cartoons. I loved like Ben 10 and like fucking Jake the Teenage Dragon and shit like that. Like, I didn't really watch like Sweet Life when I was younger, like here and there, but I was never like a big Disney fan. So when I actually joined Disney Channel, I don't think it was as magical for me as it was for like other kids. For me, I also had been doing it by that time already. When I was joining Disney, I'd already been acting for 5 years. So for me, it was just another job, and the one thing that my dad always taught me was never settle, so whereas Disney Channel at that age can feel like, damn, I've made it. My dad was like, no, this is just a step in a very big staircase towards where you want to get to. So being on Disney, I treated it as this is another job, and it will come, and I'll make the best time of it as I can while being here. and then I'm gonna move on and keep doing more things.
What were the shows you were on? Like, I know you're on in the middle.
Stuck in the Middle.
Stuck in the
yeah.
Middle, right? But like, what was all the shows you went on? What was like the big one?
That's hard to say. I mean, Stuck in the Middle definitely plays a very big part into my success, I suppose, because it was a very big Disney show. Maybe Disney's like last big show. I was
Yeah.
in that last segment of big Disney shows before Disney kind of started relying on Disney Plus. But then, I mean, also while being on Disney, I was simultaneously on Fuller House on Netflix.
Yeah.
And I was doing that. So on the off season of Disney, I would go right over to Fuller House, and I always have personally loved doing Fuller House. But
Have you met
Fuller
Bob
House-
Saget?
oh yeah,
Hell
I
yeah.
love them
That's
all.
so
I
If you
love
guys
them
don't know, Fuller House it's the revamp of Full House
Yeah,
with John
it's the
Stamos.
spinoff.
And I
Yeah.
heard you were supposed to be the star, but you couldn't do it because of an Amazon show.
Yeah, so it's
fucked.
actually crazy. So Amazon Prime at that point was Amazon was obviously big, but
Yeah.
Amazon Prime is a very baby idea of starting to make shows for Amazon. And there was a show being made. It was called History of Radness. It was supposed to be a music show. And Netflix was doing this Fuller House spinoff. And I was auditioning for both simultaneously. And I booked the DJ's son, Jackson. I booked that role. And then I booked the Amazon show. And because they were both lead roles, the way the business works is you can't do two lead
Yeah.
roles at once.
They want to market you as one lead
As
role.
one lead role. So after a very long talk with the agency, Fuller House seemed like the apparent choice, but Amazon seemed like the more of an investment.
Yeah.
Because if the show were to be the first big Amazon Prime show, it'd be exponentially bigger
Yeah.
than anything Netflix, which was already esteemed, was doing. So we took that one. And also having a music background, that's why we took Amazon. But then I got a call from Netflix. It was a call from John Stamos and Jeff Franklin, who created the show. And they told me that they'd written me a character because they loved my audition so much, brought me on the show, and the rest was history. I was reoccurring on that show for all 5 seasons.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah, the acting world as a whole, it's really untalked about. It's like, because like we just know, like, you see like the main actors, and
Yeah.
you don't even know, like, because on social media right now you're seeing everybody, like, you know who everyone is. They get to come on like smaller podcasts, they get to come and like do all this stuff. But like with acting, you're just like, you're an actor, and I feel like it's so just like selective and cutthroat, and like everybody's it's kind of secretive almost.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think with what was crazy is my time of when I was joining Disney, it was really the first time that Musical.ly was popping off at that point. And it was really
What year is that, 2016?
It was like 2016-ish, yeah. And that was like the first time that we started seeing a big number of social media kids step into this world of acting.
Yeah.
And in that setting, actors hated social media.
That's the
kids.
point where all the managers like, you got to take acting classes. You have 10 million followers. You can flex at an audition,
Exactly,
right? So break that down.
exactly.
Like, what was that transition where Hollywood became pro influencer?
I believe that. I mean, that the idea of putting someone big in a movie has always existed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why we put a Leonardo DiCaprio. Besides the talent, also the name that he brings. Are you more likely if let's say there's some kid named Ethan Wilcox and then Leonardo DiCaprio? Which one are you going to most likely go see?
Yeah.
You're probably going to see the one with the actor that you're familiar with. Well, in the same sense, at that time, they stopped caring too much about talent, especially on the kids shows where talent's a very pick and choose type of thing. You don't need to be that talented of an actor to make a Disney Channel. All respect, there is.
It's true. Like, we look back on the shows we loved back in the day. Sweet Life of Zack and Cody was awesome, but it's not it's not prime television.
But does that mean that they won't? I mean, look at Zac Efron.
Right.
Zac Efron has grown up to have an amazing career and proven himself to be an incredible actor, as is the Mileys and Selenas, and people will continue. And then you also have the kids that go on and they didn't really amount to much. But then it was, are we going to amount more out of bringing in Jacob Sartorius, who's bringing in 1 million likes per picture,
whose audience is the exact same audience,
and they're a cult fan base, so they're going to watch whatever he's in, whether it's shit or whether it's amazing, and it'll do great.
Yeah.
And that was the idea. And us as actors fucking hated these kids because we work our whole lives. We face this rejection.
Yeah.
We walk into rooms. We get told that we're too short, too tall, too this, too that, too funny, not funny enough. We get told all these things. And these kids step in never having to go through any of this and are getting roles and taking them from us. And, you know, in social media, roles aren't taken. There's not a set number of how many big influencers there can be. There can be 5 giant influencers. There can be 20 giant influencers. And no one's really fighting for the top spot.
Yeah.
Whereas in acting, there's only one role. And there's a lot of people going for that one role. And at the end of the day, only one person is going to get that.
How many people in context go for like a Disney leading role?
Oh, dude.
Because I see the kids who post them on like on YouTube and stuff, but how many do you think? Like
Unamounted. You can't
100K?
count. Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Everyone wants to do it though.
And internationally too.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to think. I mean, we think just LA. Yeah, there's a lot of actors in LA. There's a lot of actors in New York City. But how about these kids in Texas, fucking Mississippi, all over,
fucking Canada, South Africa, Europe,
everywhere. I mean, you're dealing in it. The bigger the role gets, the wider the search will be.
Yeah.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. You do have the roles where they're being more selective. They want to name actor. They want someone with more talent. And then at that point, that's when you start getting the more exclusive roles. And that's what you work for.
Yeah.
You work to create these connections. You work to create a reputation. So then you start getting in those calls. I auditioned for West Side Story, and that was a very tight casting. That wasn't very big. Yeah. You know, that's what you ultimately try to achieve as an actor, is that exclusivity of, you know, being a big actor.
Damn. My dream was to become a producer, like of films, right? So do the business side of films, help organize the money and set it up for people to be creative. My dream every day of my life was to have a purpose to walk onto a film studio like Warner Brothers, Universal, have a reason to be there. Like, I don't know. Have you had a moment in your life where you realize how fucking envious so many millions of children, including ourselves growing up, have been of what you've done?
Dude, I think, you know, because growing up is also never settling. It also created this thing where I'd never kind of step back and be like, look where I am. And I think those times that would hit me the most is when I was on Disney. We would do promos and get sent to Disney World to go promote, like, if there was a new ride or a new theme park being made there or whatever.
It's like the 30-second clips they show on Disney.
Yeah. So those ones that you'd see, my castmate Jenna Ortega and I, we'd always get selected to go. And amongst other Disney casts. But for our show, it was always her and I.
Yeah.
And we would get sent out there. And I feel like that was, like, crazy. Because, like, one thing is to step out onto the street and see a few kids come up to you and recognize you. Another thing is being in a place where it's only
all kids.
And they're all fans of Disney. And, I mean, I'm not talking, 100 kids. I'm talking thousands of kids would surround us.
You get mobbed.
And it would be, dude, I've seen aspects of Disney World, and I think that to me is crazy, that probably 90% of the population will never see. Like, I've been through the underground tunnels.
Explain that, because that used to fascinate me.
Yeah, they're built, so there's railroads that used to run under where the park is.
Yeah.
And then there's tunnels, because the idea behind it is a Cinderella. Imagine if she's got to go take her lunch break, and her lunch break is in Star Wars land.
Ooh. You can't walk by there.
You can't have Cinderella in Star Wars land.
Yeah,
fucked.
That'd be awful.
It'd be
you'd have a mutiny on your hands.
Yeah.
So
refunds.
She has to go down to the tunnels, and then take a cart over
all the way
to the backstage, and then she can go take her lunch break.
Yeah.
And it's all over, dude. I mean, I got to see the basketball court.
Oh, up at the top of
on the Matterhorn.
Oh, yeah. There's a basketball court built in the Matterhorn for construction workers.
The construction workers that were building it built themselves a basketball court, so on their lunch breaks they could 1v1, 3v3s. You know,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's sick. So that was like learning all like the little insider.
Yeah,
I've seen at Disneyland. I got to go into Walt Disney's. You can actually pay to stay there, but it's in the castle, there's a little hotel room that you can actually book. And I mean, it's very difficult to book. It's not like you can go on the Disney website and reserve it. You have to have a contact. But I actually got to go in there and see it. Damn. Things like that, like just crazy shit,
There's a club in Disney called like Club 5
for
like
Club 13
for like
Studio 73 or something.
Yeah, they like invite like Ariana Grande there. Yeah. Have you ever seen that?
I didn't get to go into Studio 73 like and stay, but we actually cut through Studio 73 just to go see it.
Yeah.
But there was no events or anything there happening. But yeah, I mean that is one thing I'll say. Disney, while you're in their payroll, And as long as you're, one of their big stars at that time, you get treated like gold. You get to get all the secrets, you get all the love. That's crazy. And then, your time runs out.
And then you're done.
And then you're done,
What percent of actors do you think that grew up in those shows that we watched? Like, how hard is it to transition from Disney to then I'm gonna go act in other places? What's the success rate? It's gotta be hard, right?
I think it's a low success rate. I mean, we can count how many people can we count in our hands compared to how many actors there's been on Disney. Right.
Can you think of a single one that's Selena? Obviously.
I mean, there's some pretty big actors
there's
out there.
big
I mean,
ones.
there's big stars.
JT, Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah. Also, like Zendaya, she's pretty big too.
Oh, right, Zendaya. Okay.
Bella Thorne.
They create the biggest ones, but also there's not that many of them.
I mean, that's the whole idea of Disney stars going crazy. Is it really Disney stars going crazy, or is it the desperate attempt to be taken seriously as an adult that they do an over amount of things? I mean, I'm guilty of it too. You are so tired. My first tattoo I got was on my thigh. It was Steamboat Willie. OG Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
And that was because I grew up my whole life. Like, my nickname in my hometown was Mickey, and Disney kid, Disney boy. You just kind of clown for that, and you don't really have a control. And it's not that people don't think it's cool, but it's easily clownable, know?
Yeah. Do you think that it stems from that you're given, like, everything at such a young age? Like when you're, like, on a Disney show, like you said, like, you're just treated like this fucking,
The Justin Bieber effect.
Yeah, just like this some person. And then you come off, say, like, your role's up. You can't play a 13-year-old kid when you're 18 years old.
Right.
Yeah. So then your role's done, and then, like, maybe you don't have anything else lined up, or maybe you just aren't that good or anything. Do you think that that's exactly where that come from? Is like you are so poppin', you have all this stuff going for you, you're great, and then you're just like, fuck.
You got to figure it out for yourself.
I was telling you guys. I mean, Hollywood is a toxic world. It's a very toxic world. You guys have been here. You guys see the world of LA. I mean, you're at an age where you're around partying. I mean, my first party I ever went to was as a freshman in high school, 14 years old. I was at a UCLA frat party. That was the first party I ever went to.
Kind of lit.
There's freshmen and
how'd you get in? You're a dude.
Because my friends older, because all my friends.
I'm asking because we've been trying to go, but
they're older. My friends were older, and then they'd have a brother that was a junior, and he'd be in a frat at UCLA. And I mean, freshmen in college, if they're even in the frat, sometimes can't get into their own parties.
Yeah.
But then you have Disney kid rolling up to the door, and it would be like this kid. It's hilarious.
You want to see the kid get fucked up,
right? I mean, come on, tell me that if the yodeling kid that went viral in Walmart pulled up to your party, are you gonna say, nah, he's a kid, or are you gonna be like, no, this is lit, let's bring his ass in here,
come get fucked up and yodel, bro?
Exactly. So and unfortunately, you're not surrounded by good people that are encouraging you to do otherwise. You're the opposite. You have people encouraging you to do more.
So for the people that are watching, because I'm sure there's a ton who have the same dreams that you've lived and gone through, what are the things to watch out for? Like, what is that you describe as like people push you to do more? What does that mean?
I mean, it'll never be enough. And I mean, especially I'm probably the worst case you could get, because I grew up a kid that was already sendy. I was already a wild child, and what I needed most was for people to turn me down and not make me like that. But all people did was, push that. Miley Cyrus never jumped off of a 40-foot building into a pool.
Right.
But I have, and people knew that I would do that. And so they would encourage me to, not thinking about my safety, not thinking about, is it smart for this kid to be doing that? They didn't care. They just want to see the Disney kid jumping off of
Who's
shit.
they?
The people that I'd be around.
Yeah.
Just everyone.
When you become that level of clout where you're on the shows, do people pick you up? What is the crowd that you get introduced to when you get big?
Dude, for me, I was, 13, 14, and my friends were seniors in high school. I was growing up.
It's bound to happen.
Exponentially quicker than kids. I never faced being that awkward kid in high school, but I was an awkward kid. But then I was put in a setting where it was like, oh, you're just going to skip all that, and here's 18-year-old girls, here's this, here's that, and it's crazy. I mean, I actually had a post on TikTok Room regarding the Zoe Laverne situation of the 13-year-old kid.
Yeah, fucking weird.
And it was weird, and I actually explained the story that I've actually never spoken about, but I felt deeply about it. As a kid, I didn't grow up with any sisters. The only women I had in my life were my dad's sisters, and they left to Florida at a young age. I grew up being a very awkward kid, especially around people my age. You put me in a room with anyone 30 plus, I could handle myself at 9 years old.
Yeah,
as a
it's
kid,
way easier with adults.
No culture. I had no understanding, especially not any idea how to talk to girls. And, you're kind of always taught, growing around seniors, you're taught, oh, girls, girls, girls. And I didn't fucking know how to fucking speak to a girl, more or less like pull a girl. And basically the story is a kid that I was friends with pimped out his older sister to take my virginity when I was 14.
How old was she?
She was 19.
Okay.
And I was really not ready for it. It was a very pressured situation. And in the time, I couldn't walk around being like, I didn't like that, because obviously all my friends would have called me a pussy and made fun of me. Mm-hmm. But it really fucked with me. And it really, growing up, created a really bad disconnect between, what time with a girl is actually supposed to be like, and then that fucking idea of, this is just how it's supposed to be, and there was things like that, things that you're
sorry if our reaction to that was that was not expecting that.
But that's the point. No one else who's listening to this expects that too, because we have some Disney image, or no pun intended, but a Disney filter over what that life is like. But we don't realize it's people trying to have expectations for you. They're trying to meet those expectations, and they try to force that by having you fuck their sister.
And you have a lot of expectations that you're trying to meet.
What are those?
You have producers coming to you telling you that you need to be a positive influence for kids. You be a good image. I've never grown up a bad-hearted person. I've always wanted to help everyone that I ever can possibly help. I think one of my biggest flaws as a kid was being a bad judge of character. I couldn't identify what a real friend was to what a friend that just wanted to take advantage of me was. And that could be in any sense, from social media gain, a gain amongst themselves, with social climbing or whatever. So you have the expectation to meet of my father, my family, of being a good kid, stick to my respect, my morals, my everything that they've spent a whole lifetime teaching me. Producers, telling you that, maintain this, be that way, don't dress like this, dress like this. And then you have these kids on the other side being like, oh no, fuck all that. That makes you a pussy. Be like us, because we're cool. Look at all these girls that like us. Look at all these people that fuck with us. Look at all the parties we get into.
It's also super different too, right? Because I was never. When you think of an actor, you think of drama in high school. Classic drama kids, or classic kids who are playing sports all the time, right? That's the big disconnect, and they're two very, very different ways that they carry themselves. And we just don't, there's not, where we're from especially, there's not enough nobody acts nobody.
We had one guy, he was in that one show, but that was it. But no one who's had to been separate from their life. By the way, hearing your story, it sounds a lot like a very strong version of high school, but to an extreme. It's not that different.
That's what I always correlate it to. I lived high school
at 14, but
not at the right time. There's things that you're supposed to go through in high school.
Yeah.
There's trials that you're supposed to go through, the fucking times of just looking at the seniors as a freshman, dreaming to be that kid that's at the cool table. Yeah. I didn't have to go through any of that. I, at 14, was the freshman, and I didn't deserve to be there, and I was put at the cool table for nothing except what I was doing at that point in my life, And I guess it fucks with you. But
what's the complex how'd you describe it?
I would say it's kind of you feel why am I here? Who are these people around me? You see, and I won't even lie to you, actors, we're an interesting bunch. The theater kids that you grow up with.
Well, obviously there's a difference between. Yeah. I'm not trying to put all actors into the same thing.
Of course.
I'm just saying in general, the people that I've met.
I didn't, and that was my issue. I didn't like being around other actor kids as a kid, because I didn't want to be. Everyone would always make fun of us and be like, oh, you guys are weirdos. So I didn't want to be like that. And I also didn't come from most actors grow up in that setting. They're only that setting. You have the few athletic kids, but I grew up an athletic kid. I grew up being around sports. My dad is a man's man. My dad's raised my dad was a ladies' man. He's been single his whole life. He's always lived the bachelor lifestyle. Yeah. He's toured the world. He's been with supermodels. And you know, so growing up with that, I'm like, oh, that's what I gotta be.
Yeah.
And then I'm not gonna achieve that by hanging out with a bunch of like, you know, young kids. So, and then, you know, I would go back to Orange County on the weekends, and then I'd have these friends that they were like that, but they were older, you know. So for them, it was different, and for them, maybe they were, you know, they grew up wealthy, so they didn't have to ever worry about anything in life, or they're just kids, you know. Most normal 15-year-old kids can go fuck up, and they don't gotta worry about, you know, a whole media rise, you know?
No.
Look at most of the shit that happens in social media for the most part. It's very basic high school shit.
Very basic.
that's what
It's
it
all high school.
But
It's
the
even-
issue
it's
is
worse.
it's basic high school shit
ridiculous.
that's put on the fucking internet for millions of people to look
For
at.
millions
and
of other
judge.
high schoolers to look at,
Yeah.
and then so it just fucking, it literally just fucks the problem. Like, it's just like one problem.
And then it
fucking
replicates on
another
high
problem.
school too, because like shit goes down
Yeah.
with cheating, and then the same thing happens in high school.
Oh
Right.
my god, this
You
happened.
know,
It's literally
yeah.
just.
And the thing is that everyone talks about everything in high school. You know who's dating who and who's doing.
Yeah.
It's literally
It's
high
literally
school.
high school.
Yeah.
TikTok
And-
tea rooms are like the newspaper for high school.
TikTok
Yeah.
room is the newsletter that you
Yeah.
have in high school,
And even in college too, bro.
and
But,
it's like you kind of like now you're like we're dealing with high school shit,
Yeah.
you know. And what's fucked about it is, you know, you got 13, 14-year-old kids, some of them that, you know, are judging so hard when it's like, listen, in 3 years you might be in the same
You would do the
exact
same
place.
thing.
You're going to be doing the same shit. You're going to be going through the same shit, and you're going to be sitting there going, why is everyone making fun of me? Why is everyone judging me? And it's going to suck.
Yeah.
And it's going to suck. And it's even worse when you're being blasted for mistakes. You know, I don't think, don't get me wrong, there's influencers out there that are pieces of shit that they fuck up and they don't give a shit.
you know exactly who you are.
You know who you are. But there's also the kids that we fuck up,
Yeah.
we make a mistake, and then, you know, we're put on this pedestal of criticism. And yes, that the thing is that for someone like me, I knew what I was signing up for because I had a lot of years to know that. But there's people, you know, especially the TikTok age, especially, which is we see such rapid growth. We see kids that
8
with
months
3
ago,
or 4
0.
videos,
I'm going to the bathroom real quick. Sorry, keep on going.
massive. You know what I mean? We're dealing with kids now that are fucking huge, and they didn't know that.
No, yeah.
They didn't
Like,
ask
no,
for
like
that.
Noah Beck, like he was literally like there for
What,
a
2
month.
months?
Soccer player.
2
Yeah,
months,
2
right?
months. He was like, playing soccer, and all of a sudden was the biggest fucking thing in the world.
And
And
now
like,
he has to like take on the hate.
And he has to figure out everything. You know?
And like the thing that I realized too, just being out here and even just being like in this, you know, in this world, you can't fuck up anymore and have it be like a learning experience, because like that's ultimately at the end of the day what it should be. If you fuck up super bad,
You're gonna get fucking.
you should you should be maybe like this kid don't hang out with, like, you know, like whatever, but like everything kind of like works its way out. If you get fucking canceled, like there's only a
I mean,
rough-
the idea,
especially with cancel culture right now.
listen,
like,
if
it's
you do something
hard.
that's actually fucked up, like
Yeah, yeah.
like you're fucking, you get exposed for something happening with a girl that's fucked up. That happens. Listen, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah,
This happened to you. You're not gonna turn back like, hey, 5 years later, oh, I learned my lesson. Like that's not gonna change anything.
yeah, people
But-
don't change in that
But
sense.
a kid,
Yeah.
But
a
mistake.
kid saying some stupid shit. Is that kid in 5? I know for a fact the kid that I was at 14 doing shit is far from the kid that I am now. You know, and I would probably smack the fuck out of 14-year-old me for being the way that I was, you know, but we learn and we grow. And I think that that's something that social media, they won't let anyone forget. You
They
know,
won't.
it's like, you fucked up, don't forget it.
like Tony Lopez, for example, like his full comment section is just straight.
Oh yeah,
it's just
and
fucked.
I mean,
It's
I mean,
like-
when we deal with someone like Tony, is that someone that we're gonna sit back and go, yeah, that's someone? that-
No.
that's you know,
He's been catching the gas from us
God.
recently, bro.
that's someone that I don't know how much forgiveness I have for something like that.
He'll-
You know what I
he'll
mean?
get it.
But
He's chilling. He'll get it.
but I think that's but also, I guess what it does, it's a double-edged sword. It's like it really teaches people a fucking lesson.
Yeah.
But it also, like, for the kids that do deserve the forgiveness, some don't, you know who you are, it fucks them over. And they will never be able to get past that, you know, ever.
And
ever.
they will in a real world situation.
In a real
Because
world,
not
yeah.
here.
but not in this world.
And not
because
in this world.
it's like Tony Love, or I guess we want. But anyway, anybody like that could go get a job. Well, depending on how the fucking case is. Maybe not the greatest example, but someone who fucks up bad. Someone who maybe says the N-word or something.
I think a Logan Paul is a great example.
Logan Paul is a great one.
Logan Paul made some fucked up choices.
Yeah.
He did some stupid ass shit that, you know, yes, he deserved to be ridiculed for. They were immature. He has a very big audience that he should be a better example for. But I think we see someone like Logan, and we can see that guy as being a great starlet to learn from what you've done, grow, mature, and stick to that.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have like Jake, who's younger, and I love Jake. Yeah. But you don't see as much growth in Jake as you see from someone like Logan.
Yeah.
Jake is still learning. Yeah. And
Logan,
he will continue.
And Logan Paul needed that to happen because right when he came back, his entire career completely changed. It went from being like, oh, this is Viner reckless Logan Paul, dude. Viner reckless Logan Paul. It's like, oh, this is funny Logan Paul. Because I used to not fuck with Logan Paul whatsoever. Like whatsoever. Yeah. But like now, I mean, I watch. I watch all of his podcasts. I watch all of his vlog. I watch all his shit, and he's just because it's entertaining. Yeah. So it's like, why would I not?
And I think, but even for someone like that, he's been given more time. You know, with a kid like Noah, some of these other kids. To me, I can't even fathom it. Like the idea that in one month you're up here and you're loved and you're hyped, you know, Vinny's, people like that we see are on the top pedestal of being adored, and in one day
they're done.
Will be down here at the bottom of the fucking shit barrel, and everyone turning their backs on them, everyone shitting on them, and you know that you.
So you're talking about Vinny Hacker, right?
Like Vinny, you know, with Vinny's situation that he's going on.
What's the situation? I've seen shit like that, but what's the backstory? He
posted a TikTok about.
He made an insensitive political joke. It was something along the lines of, what did he say? He said, Biden was elected, yes, but let's not forget that I'm still lonely as fuck. And, you know, for some people, it's a funny, and we laughed, and that was his intention. You know, we know that. But also, for other people that are more sensitive, you know, we live in a very
you have to cater to that sensitive
you
group,
have to cater to
but he's new though too. That's
what's even hard. The fucking issue with that,
you know? Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. You know, it's for the thing is the jokes that we tell, a joke that we'll tell in this room, we know the safety, we know that person, we know that that's a good-natured, good-hearted, you know, that person doesn't mean anything bad by it. But to the internet, it's that's what you have to learn. Like, it really sucks because you so badly want to just be out there and, like, be you. And then the internet says that they want that. But then if you just, you know, be that maybe stupid fucker that just makes stupid jokes. You know, we all know those kids. Those kids that just make really out-of-pocket dumb jokes that are just so unnecessary.
Like this whole fucking team.
I've been that kid, you know?
Welcome to TheSync.
But we all know in our safety that, you know, what type of guys you guys are. We know what type of people we're around. And being in this business on the inside that we all are, being around all these kids, whether it's at parties, dinners, or, you know, events or whatever, we know that, oh, Vinny is by no means a bad kid. Yeah. I love Vinny. I adore Vinny. I think Vinny's an absolute sweetheart. I think he's so sweet. And I know that his intentions behind that joke was purely a joke, and he wasn't trying to upset anyone. And I know that he's sitting at home right now feeling so awful.
Have you been around people, like, I know maybe Vinny's example, who have been through that, like the cycle of internet hate coming down on them? What is that like from their, what does that do to, I that sounds fucked, but what does that do to a person? Because people don't need to realize that before they go out and try to cancel someone. What does that do to the person?
I mean, dude, let's, you know, look at someone like a Nessa. You know, Nessa's mental health. Look how, like, I mean, I know from even the things I see and people I know that are around her a lot, she struggles. And when I met Nessa, you know, 8 months ago, she wasn't that girl. But when you're having someone at your throat every day telling you to kill yourself, telling you to this, and if you're maybe someone that already struggles from these problems, it's hard. And, you know, and then you have the kids that fucking, you know, like kids like Bryce. You know, Bryce, the whole internet shits on him. He has a good laugh about it and will come back in a month and do something for everyone else to love. Yeah. You know, it doesn't hurt him as much. You know, for someone like me, I've always been raised to same shit. You get knocked down, you get back up.
Right.
But that is not a luxury that everyone has. There's people that struggle from mental health. You don't know. These kids were in normal fucking school a year ago. You don't know the bullying that they faced. What if they were criticized, ridiculed, told every day to kill themselves, and now they're getting
millions of people doing
the same thing for something that is that an event that they deserve to have people texting them telling them to kill themselves? Is, you know, some stupid shit that, yes, should she be checked? Should she be told? That's not the way you're supposed to go about something. Not necessarily, but just in general. Should you be checked? Yes. Do you deserve to have millions of people coming at you telling you to kill yourself, telling you that you're not anything in this world, you deserve to go away, hide? No, you don't. For the most part. There's
I mean, we go through the same internal thing where it's like, should we report on this story because we know what it says about that person? But a lot of times it is pretty black and white where it goes, all right, that's just out of pocket. That's just fucked.
Of course. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you know, you look around and it's like, who cares that Bryce and Addison kissed for the 9th time? That's their life. That's their relationship.
I like write it down every time. I'm like, fuck yeah.
I'm happy for them. You know, I love them. They're like their parents. But let them have their
parents.
At the same time, I think, when I hear, so this is part of me. So when I hear influencers like, people are like, I can't believe they come up to us at Saddle or film us all the time, right? Part of me is like, 100%, you're right. This is fucked. This is not okay. But it also does create a world around you where you are winning 100%. That's the thing that they also have to realize.
It's a joke now. Like, when I know we're going out to Saddle for the night, I will make sure to put on a good outfit just in case there's media there, just in case I'm going to be spoken to. Yes. Do you want it? Probably not. You're having a bad day? Probably not. But you have to start learning that that's the business that we're in. You know, people don't care. They say you wanted rich and fame. Well, in exchange, these are the little these are the little dotted lines that you didn't read before you made that choice. And that's where, you know, I try and help kids and teach them it's going to be hard. You're going to have to learn how to adapt to this life. It's going to be a weird adjustment. You're going to make mistakes, but don't let that affect everything, because you can get past it and you can be regarded as a respected, young, you know, talented person. You know, you just got to move past that.
So is it worth it?
I don't think I think, you know,
it's individual.
That's an individual thing. Is it worth it to you? You know, that's the whole idea of Hollywood, is you sell your soul. You know, you're gaining a lot, but what are you losing in return? You know, privacy. You know, probably privacy is the biggest thing. You know, you do lose almost all of your privacy, and especially in a social media sense. You know, Keanu Reeves is a massive actor, but he's known for being a very private person. You know, he sticks very much to himself. As an actor, I kind of have that comfortability that I can kind of stay hidden in my own little place and I can disappear for a few months.
Well, yeah, because you don't rely on social media.
Because I don't rely on social media. But for social media kids, you're kind of forced to just stick out there. You know, whether you're being shit on or whether you're not. You can say, oh, I'm going to deactivate my Instagram tonight. But bottom line is, you got to keep those fucking brand deals rolling in for the next week. So you better reactivate your Instagram account. You know, that's a thing that that's why I try and teach people mainly. Don't let social media be your main source of income. Pull a Sway, pull a Logan, pull a Jake, create other companies. If you're not someone that maybe is a singer or, you know, like a Jaden who has now created a very successful music career for himself and will continue to, he's someone that now he's creating more markets for income that he doesn't need to just rely on something. You know, let's go to when social media created and think about how many people have come and gone and how many have stayed. Philip DeFranco and Shane Dawson. Those
Shane
are two.
Now, I don't know.
Shane now, different. You know, but like Philip
DeFranco,
DeFranco stayed in there.
Weirdo.
You
don't like Philip?
No, Shane. Fucking weirdo.
Shane's a whole fucking thing.
That's why I got rid of my cat.
Oh God.
Hey man.
Someone had to say it.
We were all thinking
it. So those people, they were the big ones that have lasted. Philip DeFranco, PewDiePie,
Dobrik from Vine, and the transition to YouTube, and managed to, for the most part, keep his hands clean.
Dobrik's literally been gone off YouTube for
Fuck David Dobrik. I want to watch his fucking videos.
Yeah, dude.
Like, I just want to watch.
He's still making millions. He's giving out
He doesn't need his content.
And he's got his what? Doesn't he have his own show on Nickelodeon
Yeah.
now?
And he has
It's low key shit.
And he has
not gonna
Natalie.
lie.
And he's got Natalie.
And Corinna.
And Corinna.
No, Corinna's cuffed up with some other weird ass dude now.
Isn't she with? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no,
She-
their relationship's over.
Yeah,
Damn.
Tifu.
Yeah, dude.
Tifu's a goat.
Yeah.
Love Tifu.
Damn. So, what is the? How do you view social media in terms of how everyone prioritizes as number one thing? You're a lot more safe. You're obviously an actor. You have all these different music. How do you view people who rely solely on social media? You warn them, but like
I mean, I get it. You know, like I said, I was born that my dad put a new instrument in my hand every time I was done playing that instrument. I was given all these capabilities of always roads. I was taught to be educated, so when it comes to business, I can create separate companies and surround myself by educated people that if I'm not smart in that realm, I can have someone there that can help me get there. You know, we're seeing that with Sway right now.
what are they doing?
Bryce has his energy drink
Annie
company. Their podcast that they've started doing. Josh has his podcast that he's doing with
Dave Portnoy.
Yeah. So you know we're
Barstool Prez.
Barstool Prez. So you know they're getting it.
Yeah.
You know they're understanding that hey, this is not something that will last forever. You know, probably at 30 years old, you're not gonna be Josh Richards who he is today. You know, and that's okay. You know, that is okay. Unless you know, Jaden, who knows where we'll see Jaden? Jaden in 5 years can still be a #1 selling artist, massive, 10 years from now.
Yeah.
We don't know that. Look at Shawn Mendes. Yeah. We forget Shawn Mendes comes from a social media.
MagCon, right?
MagCon.
That's
and now
crazy.
the kid is fucking, no one thinks of him as a social media star.
Yeah.
But that opportunity isn't there for everyone. You know, I don't think a ton of people are going to be musicians or actors or whatever. So it's important for them to create something substantial that they can have for a long time and use their fame right now to help market that.
Yeah. So for you, like when fans come up to you, where do they recognize you from? Is it mostly Disney, social media?
It comes with acting, a lot. And that honestly makes me happy because, you know, for me, I haven't been, you know, I've done roles. I was just in Hoobie Halloween on Netflix and I've done roles and stuff like that. But, you know, those two have always been my biggest, especially amongst kids. And seeing that I still get recognized for that, it is pretty happy for me. You know, I think when I was younger, it was like, another Disney show fan. Like, I just wanted to be recognized for something else. And now I appreciate it. You know, it means a lot. And still seeing a little girl that's, you know, 9 years old approach me and she's like, I watch your show on Disney Plus. I'm like, oh, this is lit. You know, it's sick.
How crazy is it when you become like a person who's? Did you ever do the wand thing? Dum dum ba dum.
Did you?
Oh,
I did. Yeah.
So that's when you're like you're a big actor. Like
Fucking lit.
how crazy? How crazy is Disney hype? Like how many fans are?
It's massive,
right?
dude. I mean, especially at my time, I would compare Disney hype with social media hype.
Which kid didn't watch Disney? I couldn't tell you now, but like, bro, back in the day of like, I mean, think about how much Disney was watched. Like it was,
And I mean, like I said,
ridiculous.
my Disney show with I think 2 others were literally Disney's last big shows.
Yeah.
Because right after our shows ended, it really switched to predominantly being Disney Plus reliance. You know, the viewership, kids don't watch cable.
What do they post now on cable? On Disney
I mean,
Channel?
it's new shows. It's new
yeah.
shows and reruns.
There's no Good Luck Charlie anymore. There's no
Drake
fucking,
and Josh.
There's no Drake and Josh, iCarly's, Zach and Cody's shows that when we
The legend.
you know we grew
Yeah.
up with that looking back you watch them and you're like,
dude, they're
you know,
impossible.
they're
But I go to
funny.
Berkeley's house. Boob? What do you mean boob?
Drake and Josh.
Oh fuck. Okay, I remember because I lived in Japan, so I watched him English dub for years. Then I moved here in 2nd grade, and the first time I listened to like American version Disney Channel was at his house. Yeah, it was Good Luck Charlie for sure.
Oh, dude, the creators of Good Luck Charlie were the creators of our show.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen
How old is Charlie now? That girl.
She's older. Maya, she's like what, 9,
Fuck.
10? She's got to be 10, right?
She's like
10 years
How
old.
old is
Nine?
Charlie?
Did you see the dad from Good Luck Charlie? He's
Yeah.
jacked as
Yeah,
fuck.
he's massive.
There's so many memes on TikToks like how I'm Bob Duncan.
Bro, she's fucking 14.
What the fuck? The baby from Good Luck Charlie?
Yeah, Mia Tallarico.
Dude,
She
wow.
looks no different.
I wonder if she ever went back and watched the fucking videos.
Yeah. Why?
No, we all have. And if we don't, it's our friends.
Yeah.
that fucking put
Do you
that
mean
shit
like
on.
the videos Charlie
No,
filmed
yeah,
with a camcorder?
I'm saying the one. Fuck. What was it?
Bridget or
Bridget something.
Bridget
Bridget
Mendler.
Mendler,
Yeah.
but in the
Oh,
show
yeah.
she
She's
was
a
Teddy.
singer.
Teddy.
And remember Lemonade Mouth?
Oh yes. Yeah, I mean, dude, like that's the thing. You know, that little girl for the rest of her life will be called Charlie. No matter what she does, she'll
It's just
always
like how
be known.
Daniel Radcliffe will always be fucking
Harry Potter. And he's had a very successful
very
career.
similar actors.
You know, Shia LaBeouf will probably continue to think of him as the kid from Transformers.
He's
Holes.
he's out there. You see him when he
He's
was
out
when he
there.
was drunk as fuck in his
He did
Oh,
a
yeah.
Zoom call with Morgan Freeman. and
But
was just
dude,
smoking.
even like Shia LaBeouf, dude, like that kid's grown up hard. You know, what was his Honey Boy, the movie that's based on his life?
Oh yeah, his dad's like
His
crazy.
dad was like fucking hated that his son was like the primary income in the house, and it just created a really bad. His dad had like a drug problem, and
Yeah.
you know, it's a lot of things like that. You know, with kids like Miley, you know, Billy Ray, and you know, I saw a couple of the Cyruses. I won't say which ones. At a food drive about 9 months ago. We were giving out some food to like the homeless and stuff like that. And a couple of the Cyruses came high as a kite. High as a kite.
Yeah.
And and one was the parent. So
I heard Billy smokes like a chimney, and the mom too.
Billy was high on his ass. And,
Wait, there's a Cyrus mom?
Yeah, so Miley told on the Joe Rogan podcast, she's like, yeah, my dad for his birthday, we went out to his huge town, farm in Montana or whatever, and we just drew him a bath, put it in the middle of a cornfield, and he would just smoke blunts all night, just in the bath in the middle of a cornfield.
I mean, dude, and you know, it's funny as shit.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, imagine her growing up around that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it fucks you with you.
Yeah.
You know,
And I'm sure weed isn't the worst of it.
Of course not.
I mean, we know. Yeah, I mean, it extends, and it will continue, and it'll be an age-old thing. And from social media, kids now look at these parents that blast their babies.
Yeah,
online,
on Instagram,
you know,
TikTok.
On Instagram, TikTok, you know, they're fucking. There's dogs that are fucking famous. You
Yeah.
know, that dog doesn't know shit. I remember meeting Jif Palm when I was like 12, and I was like, "Bro, this is so lit," and the dog's just looking at me like, "What the fuck
Have you
is
met
happening?"
Doug the pug?
Is that the pink-eared one?
Yeah,
no,
the pug.
The pug. Oh,
That
no,
rides
I
on the
haven't met
skateboard?
Doug.
No.
I want to
Oh.
meet 2 Chainz dog. I want to meet Trappy, bro.
Trappy.
Trappy needs to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna steal Trappy.
No, I want to meet Rob Dyrdek's bulldog. What's his name?
I don't know his name.
Meaty. Alright. Well, I mean, like, because our parents are growing up, they're like PTA parents. There was volunteering on the school trips. That's just not like the entertainment parents. That's not parents
Not
who.
the parent I grew up
No.
with. You know, my dad didn't give a shit about PTA. You know, he was just like,
He never brought the orange
my
slices
dad
to the
was
game.
just like, get enough fucking grades to get your work permit signed and, you know, keep working. You
Yeah.
know? So I guess I definitely think my childhood was restricted. But you spend a lot more of your life as an adult than you do as a kid.
Yeah.
You know?
You just grew up really fast.
Yeah.
So like it wasn't. It's kind of. I mean, there's kids that it's like, it's kind of hard because I guess the exact opposite is of like. I've heard of some moms that go live in college with their kid for their freshman year. I'm like,
That's fucking.
That's
yo,
fucked. That's
miss
not
me
okay.
with that
Miss
shit,
me
bro.
with that.
Yeah.
Karen.
I
You're
mean,
bringing a biddy home and your mom's fucking like, nah, this is
dude.
not it.
My mom's
I
gonna
mean-
cook you breakfast after we fuck.
She's like, do you want me to make you breakfast in the morning? No, mom's got that handled.
Sheets for you and shit.
She's like, the clothes that were on the ground, the girl's just like got her clothes folded for her in the morning. That actually will keep you a little lit.
You just come down and there's already a plate for you.
And the note that the mom's written, sorry, he had to go to class. He said to call you.
Here's an Uber.
He said to add him on Snap. Make sure to text him your name. He doesn't remember.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, but like we joke about. I actually just kidding. The kids that are having their mom come to college with them, I'm sure aren't fucking
Bringing biddies
bringing
over.
biddies over.
I mean, we do. Like, there's people I know that, you know, their dads are 30-year-old, you know, mama's boys, you know,
Yeah.
and they have been that their whole life. And then, you know, for me, my dad was just like, be a fucking man and learn how to
Your
handle
dad
yourself,
sounds kind of
you
like
know?
Dan Bilzerian a little bit. Sounds like a Dan
Similar,
Bilzerian type guy.
minus like the
tone down.
gambling
Yeah,
and getting
tone
fucked up, but like everything else.
Tone down. A little bit more mature.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I definitely think it's a trap, you know. And
Yeah.
everyone comes into it expecting one thing, they get another, and it's kind of like fight or flight, adapt, or you know, be killed, you know, in a metaphorical sense, or for certain people,
Yeah.
literal.
So we moved down here a month and a half ago. What are we gonna expect? Do you think in the next year that we're not gonna that we should be aware of?
I mean, dude, I tell the story for everyone, and I see it go different for everyone.
Yeah.
Because it really goes down to a people person, you know, like, you know, with you guys have here, you're united on a solid foundation of, you know, brother, that you guys have all known each other and been friends. You're all coming here pursuing the same thing. I've seen that eat people alive. I've seen where some just becomes an ego thing, and one needs to always be the top dog, and if he can't, then fuck it. You know, we see it with bands, we see it with everything, you know. It happens. But I mean, I think the main thing that I always say for everyone to be careful of is just keep in mind that everything you do, we leave a digital footprint. Coming from a kid that I know,
Except on Snapchat. Everything.
Yeah, right. Everything goes away on Snap.
yeah, except all the fucking ways of screenshotting. Have you seen those TikToks that it's
No,
like,
yeah,
here, if
The one
here's
about Griffin and Dixie of all those fucking like receipts and
Send
shit.
toes.
when she posted that snap, and he's like, you said I cheated.
What's in store? Like, what's in the future? Because Clubhouse, FTB, what are you working on now?
Gonna be getting back into my YouTube grind.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
guys
you know,
will
I
be-
saw on your channel, it said posting every Sunday. You haven't posted in 3 months. What's going on there, man?
Yeah, so my YouTube's coming back up. You guys will
yeah.
probably be seeing a lot of these boys in the videos. I love these kids.
Hey.
So yeah, back to YouTube. I'm working on some music right now, so news on that. Some snippets and shit to start getting dropped in the next month.
Is it like rock music? What is it?
Yeah, rock. I come from a rock background, but I mean,
Yeah.
I do everything. I love like every genre, so
cool.
I hope to explore every genre in the future. And yeah, I mean, I'm being a lot more picky about acting roles now for the sake of seriousness and wanting to kind of be taken more down a drama route. Quite honestly, props to Brat. I mean, they've marketed the most off of.
So is that a media company?
It's a media company.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they've done it the best. They took all the social media kids and have just been able to put them all into one network.
Yeah.
Which is honestly for the best. You know, everyone's on Brat. I've done Brat. I actually did a Brat show. My ex had a show on Brat, and I did it with her. They're very good people, and they have a great operation there. So
Yeah.
yeah,
We're gonna get Burke a roll.
What?
What do you mean?
You know
I
how
mean,
Taylor?
that would
You
be
know how
kinda sick.
Taylor did Dirt?
Yeah.
You guys can have your own show called Burt.
Real quick, what are the roles that like? What's the new filter that you're putting your roles through? I don't know. Like,
More definitely. I want to move to dramatic roles. I love drama. I've always felt strength in drama. Comedy's never honestly been my strong suit,
Yeah.
but it's where I've gotten my popularity in acting from. So yeah, I'm being very picky about roles right now. Voiceovers I've been doing a lot of. Because those ones don't matter as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't obviously see my face.
Yeah.
So, but with acting for drama roles, I'm searching more for more mature, serious roles. Yeah.
but like, if you got like, let's say, like Hangover 4 is coming.
Okay, well that's fucking
Yeah. Okay.
that's mature as fuck. It's funny, but it's mature as shit.
So you're talking about like doing like you don't want to do another like more child sitcom,
No,
kid sitcom.
Disney and Nickelodeon,
Is
Disney
out.
Channel and Nickelodeon. I'd be down to do a Disney movie or like Marvel. I guess it's Disney.
Yeah.
but I'd still fucking do a Marvel.
Yeah, of
movie,
course.
So or Star Wars,
Yeah.
obviously. So yeah,
It's more just like the maturity of like what the acting is. Like,
right.
Yeah.
The I guess I should say the quality
Yeah.
of what I'm going into. I want it to be more feature films,
Direction
big
of the
shows.
awards.
Yes.
The Oscars, the
Yes.
Emmys. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I want a career like DiCaprio.
Yeah.
You
he
know,
doesn't want to get slimed.
came close.
Yeah. So this has been amazing, Isaac. Like we talked about this during the break, but you have a fucking crazy story. You're definitely gonna be back. You've been through crazy shit that no one else has been through. It's been interesting. There's a lot to go on. I know that the comments are gonna ask like, why don't you ask about? Because your fans come from all these weird different
Yeah.
parts of the internet and in the actual like TV world that they're gonna ask us like, why didn't you ask us this? Why
No,
didn't you ask us
guys,
this?
I love being here. These are all the boys. I'd be here even if I wasn't on the show right now. This is just a great place to lay a foundation of me, the person, and any questions. I would love to come back 100
Yeah.
times.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
Yeah, we like doing that. We
I'm
like
gonna take this seat from you, bitch.
Honestly, one of them's pretty fucked up. We broke one of them pretty bad the other night. These chairs always.
I'm gonna
talk
go get
shit.
my own chair, my own mic. And I'm
You
gonna
just
sit
seem way
right
better.
fucking there. And I'm just
That's what
gonna
we were
sit
thinking. We
in.
were thinking of a third camera and having like someone sit over there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be me. I'll sit on that chair.
All right, right before I head out, do you want to read one of the reviews that we got?
Yeah,
on
you know what? Actually, I got them open.
how many reviews do we have?
And just in
1.2K.
case anyone cared, we do have a better rating on Apple Podcast than the BFFs pod with Josh Richards and Dave Portnoy. So, no, just kidding. All love to those guys. They're doing great.
They
shit.
do have way
Yes.
more viewers, but
I mean, do they though?
I think a lot more people have heard that. All right, so what's a review that we got?
This is from Ethanos999 H. Yo, you guys and the BFFs podcast are the two podcasts I started watching. I'm from Seattle too. Love the content.
Hey,
thanks,
thank you.
man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, just go leave a 5-star review. Nothing less.
We don't accept anything
We
less.
don't accept it. We have an ad blocker on that.
Ad blocker.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Oh yeah.
5 stars only. Go to Apple Podcasts. Go leave a review.
And then also, if you guys are looking for anything to shave your balls, Isaac, I'm sure you can talk to the importance of that.
Please, to God, Manscaped, send me a fucking kit. My balls are looking like shit. Okay? I got a highway down here, and it's a strip. Okay, I need some help.
Bro, this shit's crazy. Like, take a look at it. Because what you got is the light on there, and the razor doesn't cut you. So turn on the power. Yeah, there we go.
Wow. Buy Manscaped.
Yes.
Use code SYNC.
Yeah, use code TheSync for 20% off.
You don't want to hold it right there.
All right, use code TheSync for 20% off. That's all. Make sure to subscribe and notification bell. Everything for Isaac is going to be linked down below. Go follow him on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. YouTube's a big one. That's where you're hitting hard.
Go hit up my socials because your balls will thank you.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
It says here new video every Sunday, so we're gonna start looking for that.
We'll make that happen.
You're gonna make that happen?
That'll happen.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out, guys. Thank you so much for coming on.
Peace.